Amexem Almanac.
Moorish ambassador received by the Queen of Spain, which was Queen Elizabeth or Queen of France. The Queen has received the Moorish ambassador with great pomp. And this is reminding me of the study we did with the Moorish mission, where the Moorish ambassador went to meet King Edward VII. But what are they doing, bowing their heads in honor to the Queen of France, who was colonizing the Moorish dominions? A turbulent empire of 10 million without roads or telegraphs, laws or justice, yet within gunshot of Europe is watching its ruler with fierce scorn. We have no Sultan, they say. All know the French have cast a net about their land. The great Moorish empire totters till it falls, seething with anarchy and with hatred of the Christian, while the Sultan, bewildered by international conferences, programs of reform, foreign intrigues, treacherous advisors, and pretenders to the throne, has retired his innermost pavilion to play with the toys that has been his ruin. So it sounds like all these Europeans was all over the Moorish dominion trying to get them for not only their resources, but their gnosis, their knowledge. A very learned professor of the Oriental quote-unquote languages in Sicily has announced that he saw in Gargantia a volume of cotton paper written in the Western Moorish character. It said Western Moorish character that contains a translation into the Arabic of 17 books of that part of Levi's history. The collection of manuscripts which the Sultan of Morocco has turned over to the Madras or High School of Fez proves to comprise copies of numerous West works which in Spain were destroyed by the Holy Inquisition. In scientific attainments, the scholars of the Moorish universities were several hundred years ahead of their Trinitarian rivals, and by ignoring their existence, Christian historians of civilization have been obliged to assume 1,000 years interregnum and or gap of science. The first star catalog giving 1,080 stars was published by Hipparchus in the year 125 BC. It has come down to us through Ptolemy of Alexandria, who nearly 300 years later in 140 AD produced his Maga Syntaxis, the Amalgus of the Moorish astronomers, which either directly or through the corrected catalog that was based on it by the Persian astronomer, which is the Moorish, AbdEl Rahman al-Sufi, was the world standard, and it's Moorish astronomers. So when I went and looked up the Moorish ambassador that visited Queen Elizabeth, they keep showing a pale man, which like I demonstrated in Havana, Cuba at the Pan American Conference 1928, there was an argument that at the Treaty of Madrid, the Moors was not afforded representation because they wasn't there. So the Europeans try to represent the Moorish nation and make decisions through the Treaty of Madrid. And they argued at Havana, Cuba, that all that stuff needs to be deemed void ab initio. Nonetheless, not only the resources, they was getting this gnosis, but they was translating it into English and messing it all up. Again, we have the Moorish ambassador. We have all the transcripts and manuscripts of the Moorish gnosis getting into the hands of the European, which love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice is to be taught to all nations in all lands. But the Europeans took the gnosis and put the ones they got it from back to sleep. And then they kept it. It's Holy Friday, brothers and sisters. We're just putting in our work, our demonstration, our hours, and our due diligence. I ask that everyone go and support Grand Sheik Master Teacher Taj Tarik Bey. I have it up in the community in regards to his GoFundMe. The Moor put in a lot of work, so he deserves everything that he not only needs, but wants for real. You can go support all these Moors that's putting in work and demonstrations and putting out literature, putting shortcuts for you young Moors so you don't have to go years and years getting games played. Next, we'll go through the reading in regards to Emperor Augustus and Moorish children and Napoleon, etc. A great diversion of Emperor Augustus was to play at games with little children, who were brought from all parts for this purpose, Moorish and Syrian children being his favorites. There was one little fellow of the name of Nucius, who stood only 2 feet high and weighed only 17 pounds, but who nevertheless had a prodigious voice, who was an especial favorite. Rousseau said that nothing gave him greatest pleasure than to see little children making fun and playing together. Napoleon used to take the infant king of Rome in his arms, and standing in front of a mirror with him, there make the oddest grimaces in the glass. At breakfast, he would take the child upon his knee, dip his fingers in the sauce, and dab his face with it. The child's governess scolded the emperor, laughed, and the child, almost always pleased, appeared to delight in the rough caresses of his father. Those who of such occasions had a favor to solicit from the emperor were almost always sure of being favorably received. I don't know, man. I don't got no kind of trust for no man that wants to be around children all the time, bro. And not their children, indeed. One day in the fall of the year, when the chestnuts was ripening, John was walking along a narrow defile in the mountains of Sierra Nevada. Far above him rose the rocks, bare and stony, but his own path was shaded by trees, and he walked over grassy ways. Quite early in the day, he sat down by a brook which ran down a stony and precipitous bed, and let the peace and rest of the silence bring him dreams. If he had but known it, upon this very stone there once had sat a Moorish knight wounded in the fight in the defile. Now they're speaking about Moorish knights in Nevada, Sierra. Here his squire had unbuckled his visor and watched the death shadow, which is always gray, still over his face. But of this John knew nothing, and he contentedly whistled as he sat there. And if he thought of Christian and Saracen, I repeat, Christian and Saracen, which is Moorish, it was only in reference to Granada, to which he was going. He thought of robbers, but he was as ignorant of them as of Moors, and he feared them as little. So they play a lot of geography games, whether it's Toledo over there, Toledo over here, Tangier over there, Tangier over here, all the craziness. Spain over there, Spain over here. It's all the Moorish Empire all in one. Again, it's Holy Friday. I felt compelled to come out from behind the veil, put up some Moorish clippings or manuscripts for my brothers and sisters to study. Again, I ask that you support Master Teacher Grand Sheik Tarik Bey, and all Moors who are out here on these platforms shoveling away the avalanche of lies. We all are putting our work in. So I also ask that you support the Amexem Almanac. I leave you in love and peace. Divine honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish divine and national movement of the world. Jumping in the cares of the world, screaming cannonball. If I can speak to Taj, where's Hannibal? They surrounding the elder like cannibals. Got them chained in the basement, sitting on a stool. It's not understandable, but I'm not a fool, so I'ma study in Ali's school. Tools of the mind spin like spools. We pray divine while they stay cruel. Waving the red flag in front of a bull. Get your hook, line, and sinker, that's a jewel. Wolves garbed in wool, sharp teeth and drool. Under Moorish rule, little Canaan land is where I stand. 5 on the left, 2 on the other hand. Moorish empire spans from here to hot sand. Since fallen man, Allah's had a plan. Been so long since I left that grave. 7 on the palm and I'm not no slave. Don't keep me waiting on the phone all day, is what I say when they don't wanna pay. Or Latif Dale, choking out a pope and I'm taking his shell. Send him back to Europe and I put him in a cell. Whoop him with acacia till his ass yell.